Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's a house!
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
What's going on, freaks? This is sort of a shorter stream. I'll be back on later too. Haven't kept up to date with us. Have they found? They haven't lost him. They never lost his boyfriend. Not sure what you mean. Is anybody here? Am I live or? Oh, okay. All right. How's it going? It's so weird. YouTube. It's almost like people come on and then they just they're just gone immediately. I'm not sure what's happening. The video I put out again, same thing. You know, just I don't even know. Maybe well, here's the thing: is I think if you're not a conspiracy theorist, you're not watched anymore because there's nothing creative like this whole new thing that they can dig into, even though it's all bullshit. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Anyways, there's let's see, let me get the name right here. Yeah, so there's this channel called Turkey Tom, and they put out this video with all these chat logs and everything, but in the description there's actually a link to the sources, and then there's even like I don't know what the track list is. Must be like a music soundtrack, but it has all the same files in there, so I figured we'd just go over it our own way. Maybe we can help. I don't know if we can do it within an hour and a half or something like that, but that'd be cool. And like any show, if you guys want to help support the live stream, that would be awesome. Buy some channel memberships for people or super chats, whatever the hell it is. As you can see, the videos that I put out just absolutely get ignored by the YouTube algorithm. Why? I don't know. Maybe because they're telling the truth, and the truth doesn't sell. All right, so here is the. Now this is it says at the top, Anon Bird DD, October 22nd, 2025. So about 42 days after Charlie Kirk was shot, maybe 42, I think. Of course they know where the boyfriend is, you guys. Why do we keep focusing in on that? There's nothing new at the moment. Right, yeah, we all want something new, but I'm not going to invent something new just to say, oh, look, there's something new. Forget it. Anyways, up here, let's just go through this thing. Yeah, I think the most likely thing is that Tyler Robinson is going to plead guilty, like really soon here. This is not something he has any chance in hell of winning. Now, if he's only going to plead guilty if they take the death penalty off the table. On September 23rd, 2025, I published a video on YouTube titled "The Man Who Murdered Charlie Kirk," reviewing all the available public information regarding Tyler Robinson, his assassin, and Lance Twiggs, Tyler's roommate and romantic partner. Shortly thereafter, I was contacted by someone familiar with Lance and Tyler. They provided an alleged first-hand account of what their relationship was like, how it developed, and some of the events that may have driven Tyler to do what he did. They have allowed me to publish this information, but wish to remain anonymous. Yeah, so they must have probably blurred out their names. Well, there might not be a trial. There's no way in hell. Like, these kind of cases take years if they actually go to trial, especially death penalty cases. All right, so it says they provided me with the following: photos verifying their connection, their friendship account of Tyler, or first-hand account of Tyler and Lance's relationship, photos of Tyler and Lance's apartment, as well as drawings. Why did they take pictures inside the apartment, though? I don't really get it. As well as drawings allegedly made by Lance. Discord archives of 3 servers and Lance and Tyler that Lance and Tyler were in. The majority of this is explained in the video, but here I will be leaving photos of everything for you to peruse and hopefully help make sense of what happened. You'll notice some of the information has been redacted. This is done with the express purpose of preserving the anonymity of the leaker. I'll start with the first message that the leaker sent. It says, "Hello, I just watched your video on the Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler and thought you did a good job. I happen to know Tyler and Lance." And says, "I don't take a lot of pictures, so I can't prove it very well, but I'm in Discord servers with both of them they're in it, and let's see, where both of them are in it, including the one where Tyler posted his confession. I don't have anything super big to say in relation to the murder, and I hope to stay anonymous. I have some pictures of that and some stories I can tell. I don't know. I know myself if was researching, probably if I was researching them. I'd like to know more, because whenever I watch your videos, I'd always end up wanting to know way more details." And then, okay, so there's that, and then this is, looks like on maybe Discord here. "Hey guys, I have bad news for y'all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff's friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you all for everything." Above is the original image of the confession that Tyler posted to his friend group Discover server, which matches the photo published by Ken Klippenstein. Below, they also provided an original image of the local police outside of Tyler's apartment taking from across the street. Right there. But hey guys, if you're watching, if there's any chance you guys could help support the channel, as I mentioned earlier, you guys are really the sole source. There's no income coming in on the ad revenue portion, so it would be great if you guys considered supporting one of the few channels that actually puts the truth out to the public. We're currently at 0 all the way across the board. Let's see. Yeah, the apartment would drastically shift from clean to super dirty depending on the state of Lance's mood. I don't have too many pictures of most of the mess, but basically, he'd start living in the probably living room and just start turning it into his nest. Let's see. Somebody moved out, and right after Tyler moved in, Lance had a really big breakdown. The living room went from a place something could have guests over to something it felt like. Not sure why you have to blur that out. Hey, thanks, Monica Reeves. Friends, I guess like they'd have friends over, but everyone would kind of get weirded out by all the trash. In the screenshot above, the leaker describes how the state of the living room had to be hid whenever other guests came to the apartment due to the nest that Lance had created. He continues below. He basically had like layers of wires, random Temu trinkets, decorations, random art projects, clothes, and empty alcohol containers everywhere. And if anyone touched it, he'd get livid. And then, let's see. Not sure what the blacked out portion is. Banned from the apartment for a while because he kept touching the Temu trinkets. So one of the friends. A friend got banned from the apartment for a while because he kept touching the Temu trinkets. All right. Hey, thanks so much, Sheila. I wish I still had pictures, but I felt sort of guilty and deleted them since I knew Lance wasn't in the right state of mind. For context, I've been playing games with Lance and Tyler for 6 years. I count myself kind of close to them, but I was trying to separate them from myself because being around them wasn't good for me. I say them because Tyler was always really level-headed and easy-going. Thank you, Marilise. But Lance could be anywhere from too depressed to talk to manic wide-eyed. But Lance could be anywhere from too depressed to manic wide-eyes crazy person. They had too many words in there. During the first nest phase, Lance started working very rarely. And that's one of the things I was wondering about. Like, how the hell does Lance even pay for his apartment? He worked with his dad for a tub repair company. They either repair tubs or install them at construction sites. But when Lance was super depressed or just too manic, he'd take the day off and hit his vape drink and scroll reels. What's that called? Doom. That's such a crazy name. Doom scrolling or something, right? Where you just keep scrolling through, like, video after video after video shorts. I guess they call it doom scrolling or something like that. It's like, what? What the hell? What do you mean doom? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He moved, but Tyler moved in with Twiggs. So I don't think that could be the case. He had been working with his dad. Hey, thanks, Sheila, for getting that. At some stone cutting business. Let's see. Anyway, 2 weeks before, when the apartment was mostly normal, because he just dropped out of college and was tired of living with his parents. Is this about... hold on, let me move it up here. But when Lance was super depressed or just too manic, he'd take the day off work and hit his vape reels. Then the message below has been censored to preserve the leaker's identity, but when he writes "cuz he just dropped out of college and was tired of living with his parents," that's what I thought. It is in reference to Tyler Robinson. That's what I was thinking. That's pretty cool. They have these little notes that address the confusion that's really obvious. Thanks, Sheila. Anyways, 2 weeks before, when the apartment was mostly normal, because, and then it says, because Tyler just dropped out of college and was tired of living with his parents. He had been working with his dad at a stone cutting business where they install countertops. Tyler was kind of normal, blue collar Utah guy. Most conversations with him, He talked hunting, camping, gaming, and he loved talking about fishing. The message below is also in reference to Tyler and can be read as, "So I felt super bad when Tyler first moved in with Lance." So I felt super bad when he first moved, also reference to Tyler. So I felt super bad when he, Tyler, moved something normal for like, things were normal for like 2 weeks, then Lance went nuts. And the entire downstairs just became his nest. He'd be doing experiments in the kitchen, which were mostly just growing mold in Tupperware mugs, and the kettle with random Temu trinkets and rocks submerged in them. But every once in a while, I try and have a talk with Lance and try to get him to like realize he needed help without making him go ballistic. I'm not going to say it was all... Wait a minute, you guys. The word ballistic is in there. Oh my God, that's the one point in the case that is still confusing to people. Wow, how did he know to put the word ballistic in here when that's the thing with the... That's the level of what the conspiracy theorists do. Really stupid shit like that. Like stuff you just go, so what? That's a word, okay? I'm not going to say it was all just him being insane. Hey, thanks, Sheila, again. His mom is like super Mormon and also kind of crazy. So there's that. And all the drugs like weed, LSD, shrooms, DMT, and I think he said Molly, but I'm not sure. Also alcoholic levels of alcohol. This is all about Twiggs, this stuff. Lance has always been a little weird and quirky, but never really crazy. He was constantly arguing with his mom every time he saw her and ranting about Republicans and Mormons when he got home. You know, I was kind of thinking about this whole Mormon dislike for Mormon. I mean, by the way, I don't think I've ever met nicer people than Mormon people. I'm not saying like the religion itself doesn't resonate with me, but the people are nice, you know. But what's strange here is, remember that one comment that Tyler said about that was stupid, you know, that he was going to UVU, and there's probably a decent Mormon population given the fact that it's Utah. I'm just kind of wondering if like part of that is related to that it's going to be in front of Mormon people, something like that. I don't know. It's just kind of... What do you guys think about that? Wow, all this just dumped on the internet? Well, this has been out here since October 22nd. I just happened to click on the link that was below the video that Turkey Tom put out, and now we can just kind of go over it and talk about it as we want to. Yeah, so I'd sometimes talk with him for like 4 hours. Well, let's just go back up to the next one. So it says on September 25th, which is... Well, these are just messages that are being sent to the... Because September 25th is 10 days or 15 days after the shooting. So these are just the date... Well, this is a message exchange with, you know, a person out after, right? So that's what this is right here. So this is about 15 days later, but it didn't get posted out here until about a month after this. So this is really early on right here. So I'd sometimes talk with him for like 4 hours. Lance has always been a little weird and quirky, but never really crazy. He was constantly arguing with his mom every time he saw her. And I guess his parents, they're Mormon. Or his family is, I guess. And then ranting about Republicans and Mormons when he got home. I'd sometimes talk with him for like 4 hours, just ranting about his mom and family. He really hates Mormons. Also, at the time, politically, Lance and I would both probably, God, are you guys sick of that? Describe herself as libertarian, and Tyler was very apolitical. Probably. God. How did that become short for probably? You know, probably, Hey, thanks again, Sheila. Yes, you too can help support the channel. Buy some memberships for people out there. There's always people that could use free memberships. So if you want to do a double whammy, get somebody a membership and support the channel, that would be awesome. That says, he really hates Mormon. Also, at the time, politically, Lance and I would both probably describe ourselves libertarian, and Tyler was very apolitical. He had his nest phase for like probably 3 to 4 months before he sort of went back to normal. But at the tail end, after we talked for a while, he told me he was trans. So that's what Lance told him. And that it wouldn't change anything, and that I could even use whatever pronouns, and he wouldn't care. Well, that's good. You know, that's actually how they all should be, like that. I mean, you know, trying to remember the pronouns is kind of ridiculous, I got to be honest. Especially when they don't make sense. Refer to me as they. Hey, are they going to the store? Hey, hey, they. Do they want to a movie tonight? I mean, it's just like, I don't even know how to talk when you have to, they or them. Okay, let's see. Hey, them, do you want to go to a movie? Well, who's them? No, you. You told me to refer to you as a them. I don't know how to ask you to go to a movie, for God's sakes. Well, why would you want to go to... Oh, God. See, I knew I'd get Paulette to laugh. There we go. We got somebody laughing in there. Let's see. Over like the next week and a half, the living room got dismantled. He vacuumed and cleaned the kitchen a bit. He still kept one mold experiment, though, outside for some reason. But it was kind of relieving to not see so much trash lying around. We weren't allowed to even the most mundane trash. They couldn't toss out the most mundane trash. Like, he's a hoarder. Like napkins and Taco Bell sauce packets, which somebody kept the entire drawer of. So seeing all the cans and bottles disappear was super nice. Probably. And then somebody started commenting on how it's nice that we could hang out without being scared of accidentally touching trash or trinket and having Lance freak out. We'd have a mostly weekly magic night at the apartment where everyone would come drink, get high, and play magic. Well, thanks, Sheila, for another one. Very cool, very cool. Lance started attending again after he became mostly normal. However, between all of his turns, he'd go hang out with Tyler. And by the way, I'm coming back on probably at around 7:30 or so to go back. We got that other case that we were on page 5 of that we were doing. We got all the documents. However, in between all of his turns, he'd go hang out with Tyler, and we'd have to call him to the tables every time it was his turn. I get like that sometimes when we go on that Bandon Dunes trip and we're playing Texas Hold'em, and I'm just sort of like talking to somebody like, Gray, are you holding? Or, it's like, Jesus. How about we don't play poker and we just talk, because that's more fun. Let's see. Right, so one of my gym buddies was the first to pick up on Tyler and Lance being really close. I was in denial for months because I thought Tyler was straight and also kind of did not want it to be true. Eventually, I kind of snapped out of it like the nth time I saw them asleep cuddling on the couch. So this guy, he didn't really believe it, but then after a while he saw them, he was in denial, but he snapped out of denial after the nth time that he saw them cuddling on the couch. I kind of didn't think too much of it since Lance would get super cuddly every time he got drunk. Hey, thanks, Christine. Chewbacca. I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to. Let's see, which is now, I think they got together because I'm pretty sure Tyler was a virgin when he moved in. So probably when Lance was in the cuddly mood, probably something happened, but that's just I think that's totally correct. Yeah. I started noticing changes in Lance's political views as the presidential election got closer. He amped up the complaints of old people staring at him, which probably was because he dressed like a stone, and not because he was female presenting, because all he did in that department was grow out his hair, so he had longer hair, and wear mascara every once in a while. He also hated that the construction workers would misgender him, which I thought was weird since he said he was fine with any pronoun. Right, exactly. I was just thinking that. Tyler wouldn't really get political, well, this is Tyler now, until after the election. He'd sometimes just casually bring up the latest thing Trump had done and complain about what it would do to the country, but in a very level-headed way. Before the election, Lance's friend group was quirky, LGBT group. Well, you've got all the other letters. There's like 19 more letters. LGBT, QRSTU, VWXYZ. With a lot of mental illness, not saying... So it said, before the election, Lance's friends group was the quirky LGBT group with a lot of mental illness. Not saying the two are linked, but that's how my friends knew them. They're the people who are in Lance's server for the most part. After the election, they became a lot more political, but not an extremist level. By this point, I could safely say Lance and Tyler were some flavor of left-wing, while I'd kind of become tired of politics and mostly apolitical. But never anything I thought was, like, dangerous. At some point, they told me, so it was weird. This guy was on Discord, but you could have private chats, but, apparently this guy didn't see anything that was crazy, and he's in all three of them. At some point, they told me their relationship, and were pretty open about it after that. It became very uncomfortable for me, he said, because while I don't think of myself as homophobic, seeing two dudes constantly make out was a bit much. Yeah. How dare he say something like that? Long time no see. Hey, all right. What's going on, chick bait? Who are you? You're not Ted Bundy, are you? Let's see. Lance started becoming more and more erratic again until... I remember your name. It's been so long. I don't... Hey, Gray, I was wondering if you saw the footage going around with Tyler's car in a parking lot 20 minutes... Isn't that old footage, Fred? Is it a different footage? If you can send me the link, I'd like to take a look at it. Oh, there was a guy named... He called himself Ted Bundy in here. He just hasn't been around for a while. Don't we already have the one in the parking lot where he goes in there and then a car pulls up behind him? Or is this a different new one? Yeah, that's pretty old information, to be honest with you, if that's what they're referring to. If there's new information, that'd be interesting. I think I actually have it. It's not open now. Let me see. No, we're not going to get to see the autopsy reports, you guys, until trial. That's just the way it is. Okay, this is an actual criminal case where Tyler Robinson is going to trial, and that severely limits what the public gets to see at that point. Okay, now in different filings that happen, like for example, if you were following in the Idaho 4 case, the last year leading up to trial, there was all kinds of information revealed because there were different motions filed, and those are public documents, and then, you know, we get to see them. You know, sometimes they keep those still under wraps, but they didn't do that. Yes, this one right here, right? Is this the video you're talking about? Right here? This one? I'm just asking the person that asked. I don't remember who that was. They called me Greg. Oh, Frederick. Is this it right here, Frederick? This one? Yeah. It's too slower responses in here. It's like almost impossible to have a conversation. He was 140 yards, not 150. Is it different than what I just showed you, Frederick? That's what I'm asking you. It was a yes or no question. All right. Also, since Lance's room was always super messy, so they'd bang in Tyler's room. And I didn't like hearing it. Yeah, jeez. Lance started becoming more and more erratic again until at the end of December, he just had another nuclear meltdown. So that would be like 2024. After having another argument. Also, a couple months before we noticed Lance, and by the way, thank you up there again to Sheila. Oh, gotta find where I was now. They just shot by. Jeez, that thing just... get it weirded out by all the trash, yeah. I'm gonna say... Okay, I think we're in September. Yeah, one of my gym buddies. Political views. But at this point, I could safely say Lance and Tyler were some flavor of left wing. Yeah, we did that. Also, since Lance's room was always super messy, they'd bang in Tyler's room. Lance started becoming more and more erratic again until the end of December. He just had another nuclear meltdown after having another argument. Also, a couple months before we noticed Lance had been growing breasts and said that he'd been taking black market HRT, which is like probably a hormone, which I do not know what that entailed, but I think it was making him very erratic. Hey, thanks again, Sheila. All right. So he basically shut down for like 2 weeks, not talking, just hitting his vapes in the living room in the dark. I thought he kind of started going back to normal after that because he started talking again. I was so effing wrong. I had another magic night at the end of January. So, I mean, magic's probably like D&D, it was, you know. So even the Lance wasn't completely fine. I just kind of did it to test the waters. I don't know what that means. I had another magic night at the end of January. So even though Lance wasn't completely fine, I just kind of did it to test the waters. I don't know what he did. I don't know why he just didn't remove the person's name and explain what he did. Thank you, at Lizzie Rob. I should have guessed because the nest part was starting to form again. Jeez. So, like, Lance was building his little nest in the living room again. He was watching Doctor Who in the living room. He was watching Doctor Who in the living room, and so I thought he was just doing that he'd be fine, but people started to show up and talk before we started, and he just started yelling at us from the other room to shut the F up, which we thought it was a joke since this was standard magic night procedure. I don't know what this watching doctor part is over here. He yelled again, and then we got quiet till enough people showed up to start the game. During the game, one of the more autistic friends started to bring up transgender. This is sort of funny, I thought. Transgenders in sports, which I brought up a million times. He literally couldn't get further than those two before Lance yelled at him to shut the F up from the other room, and to everyone's amazement, this friend, he tried to bring it up 3 more times in rapid succession, being shouted down literally not even a second after he started his sentence every time. Hey, thanks for getting the membership there, Tammy McDonald. It became a very awkward game. It's pretty funny to think back on now. Bro could not take a hint. After that, more people showed up, and we started having 2 games going, and the mood mostly stabilized, and Lance just came in with a sort of loopy grin and bottle of something. He started trying to get my attention while we were playing, and eventually started mixing a bunch of cards together and throwing them all around the table, which was weird, but not the weirdest thing he'd done all night. Well, thanks again, Sheila. Wow. I think that's like your 6th or 7th membership. Towards the end of the night, he just disappeared, and we heard a lot of thumping coming from upstairs. I thought that was regarding something else. We finished the magic night, and I started picking up the cards, thinking I'd help Lance pick up his cards, but they were all mine, and then I'd realize he dumped out all my extra rares that I didn't have in decks, and that what he'd mixed up and started throwing, which to me was weird because I never really got caught in the crossfire of Lance's crazy. It was usually other people. We stopped Magic Night for a while after that. And also apparently Lance had gone upstairs and gone into a full tantrum mode and was thrashing around on the floor while Tyler tried to calm him down. That's what that thumping sound was, I guess. And it says, which funnily, maybe that's a word, I don't know, which funnily enough would make that the 3rd time someone at Magic Night went full tantrum and thrashed around on the ground because one Lance's friends would crash out a lot. I don't know what that means. After that, Lance went effing mental. Some other roommate, and he'd be super wide-eyed with like either a loopy grin or a rictus grin, like the effing Joker, depending on his mood. The nest came back full force, and Lance started living downstairs full time again. Yep. No, Candace Owens has not been right about anything. Nothing. Like every single thing she says, she has to sort of move on to something else, and she kind of weaves in stuff to make people like you believe she was right about something. We've all thought that Lance and these guys and the Discord servers, it wasn't Israel. So when you say Candace was right about everything, Tyson, was she right that Israel and the Mossad or whatever are somehow behind the killing? And if you say yes, you're just not welcome here, okay? All right, you can go do something else. I'm not into that crazy conspiracy where you're blaming Israel. That's just one of those ones that's really detrimental. Let's see. She told black people to vote for Trump. I don't get it. So what? Candace Owens. I mean, I love Candace when she do like Blexit, things like that. Okay. We've been inundated with a troll community, guys. So I'm just gonna keep going here. So look at all this weird crap. I guess apparently this is what he had laying around the whole house. All these little tubings and wiring and all this stuff. This is a picture of a kind of clean-up version. But why did he take this picture? You know, I mean, I was sort of interested in that element. Like, what made him take that photograph? Imagine this type of mess, but denser and all over the entire living room and kitchen counters. He started playing on his DS and drawing shit in, I think, PictoChat and scribbling it all out while giggling with the effing wide-eyed Joker smile. He'd either be doing this or his experiments or talking with chat get day in and day out. He, like, hardly ever slept. The experiments got scarier, too. Like jugs of water with whisks full of aluminum foil that had 2 copper wires coming out of them. The water was clear one day, and at some point, I think the wires got plugged into the outlet because the water turned brown and the aluminum foil was pretty burnt. Wow. He also started leaving little papers around the house that he had scribbled on while doing that giggling shit. Yeah, so I mean, he writes as all these little... I mean, I guess, were these just sitting around so you took more pictures of them? I mean, why is there pictures of these images? You know what I mean? Maybe these were still sitting around. This was done on September 25th-ish. So, you know, that's maybe Twiggs is still sitting around in the area. I don't know, this guy, he just seems like, that almost looks like art. You know, like that kind of art you do where you just start gluing crap. I don't think this is anything here. I wonder what law enforcement's making of these writings. How about Tyler or his boyfriend? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Man, I don't get it. It's not a conspiracy channel, but there's a thin line. Well, no, there isn't, though. See, what I'm doing is I use the probable cause documents, and they're not written by the FBI. They're literally just the regular... And they do the probable cause documents under penalty of perjury. Like, they literally have to be factual information. And so I read that, and if there's anything that doesn't make sense, I'll try to figure out why that doesn't make sense. But this case didn't have anything that didn't make sense. The only thing that doesn't make sense to people, that's still lingering, if you have a rational mind, that is the ballistics. Like, you think that a 30-06 hitting the neck has to go through, and that's just not true. Okay? We don't know what type of bullet it was. We don't know anything about the ballistics other than we see a hole. Now, the thing is about the hole is if we had super slow motion, you would see a hole form in front of his neck first, then the shirt come up. But we don't have it in super slow-mo. We have it 30 frames a second, and there was nobody's camera filmed a frame when the bullet hit as opposed to then the rest of the shock wave going. But the problem is since so many people believe, because of irresponsible people on YouTube who've said over and over and over and over again that the ballistics just don't make sense, they've spent all their time trying to pretend that every single other word written in the probable cause document is somehow a conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make any sense. But hey guys, if you're watching the show and you want to help support the channel, if you want to get some channel memberships or super chats or whatever it is, that'd be great. Sheila's been getting a whole bunch of memberships. Great. Does the charging dock actually state they have video of Tyler shooting? Well, when you say, see, here's the thing. When you say video of him shooting the rifle, here, let me just show you what they have, okay? I'll show you two again. They say that this is on film. They do say that. And if you're willing to accept that they have a film, all they have is this, right? So from this camera position here, they're going to have him getting up, walking up these stairs right here, okay? And he's going to walk, and it says this, that this is on video right here, what I'm telling you, in the document. It says he gets up on video and he walks over here. Then he climbs over this little wall right there. And then he has a limp, by the way, while he's going to the wall. And then 5 minutes later at 12:22 when he gets up, he has no more limp and he runs over to the corner over here, lays down and shimmies over. And then he gets up exactly after the shot was taken. So like you have a shot taken, he gets up and he runs off the roof this way. Okay, then he climbs down. He has an elongated item wrapped in a black towel. Is that not enough for you? I mean, this is going to be on video. And just remember what I'm showing you right here. You're going to see a figure just like that moving across, go over here, climb over the wall, run over to there, eventually fire at Charlie Kirk. He'll get up exactly at the known time, but you're not going to see a flash of the gun. You're not going to see smoke billowing out. That's what I'm saying. Does the document actually state that Tyler fired the shot on the video? Well, they say he's in a crouched position. See, that's what I'm saying. See, you guys are crazy people, man. I mean, it's just unbelievable. He's in prone position, and then he stands up right after the known time of the shot and runs off the roof. Okay? It doesn't say that you can see Tyler Robinson shooting. The parents said that the guy going up the stairs was Tyler Robinson. Guess what? There was DNA on the roof on a screwdriver that he left up there. That's Tyler Robinson's. Then they tracked the individual off the roof into the woods, and they found the rifle wrapped in a black towel. And guess what? Tyler Robinson's DNA was on the trigger. Okay, so I don't know what, school of brain, whatever the hell you guys went to. It's really disheartening to see the illogic that people have. It's just common sense is definitely not common anymore. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Yeah, I'll be coming back on later, too. This is just, we're just going over this website really quickly here. Yeah, it makes sense. No sound on the 360 camera video either. Yeah, you're not going to need to see it. You're just going to see the time on it. It absolutely describes it exactly what's on the video, and it even matches what you see in the video that they did release. They just didn't release that portion to the public. But the shot took place at right approximately 12:23 and 28 seconds. And I figured that out because I took Bartholomew's video. I kept pressing on him, and he finally gave me, he looked further, and in the metadata gave me the precise time that his video started. Then I found the portion where the actual shot was fired, and I put down a time code that started at the very beginning, went right through, and it came out to 12:23 and 28 seconds-ish, right there. Okay? All right. Very cool. Hey, thanks, Mini Me. Mini Me. Maybe that's what they should call me. Alright. So here's more pictures, which this stuff looks bad, but it's even worse when you saw his face when he was doodling this shit. Huh. Makes you wonder what Twiggs was thinking. Combined with the giggling and how vigorously he'd scribble, it was very scary. And the way he spoke was weird. It was a bunch of words, but none of them made sense together, or sometime it'd be in rhyme, or just sometimes he'd only smile and point at shit. Bro, if I were religious, I would have called an exorcist. The smile was so effing scary. Yeah, he apparently had like a Joker smile. Something, and he showed me what conversation he was having with ChatGPT. He told me he'd solved some equation backwards and showed me that ChatGPT text as proof. The chats were just paragraphs of random Greek and I think Roman symbols with numbers and random letters going on and on and on. He'd somehow gotten it to respond in kind as well. He told me to start scrolling faster, and so I did, and he kept telling me faster until he was basically screaming at me to scroll. You know what it reminds me of is on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when Mr. Wonka was in that tunnel and he just kept, everything started speeding up, and remember that? You know, the younger people in here never even watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He told me to start scrolling faster, and so I did, and he kept telling me faster until he was basically screaming at me to scroll faster, and the effing chat, GPT chats just went on for like forever. I was sat there scrolling at max speed for at least like a minute or two. By the bottom, it was still in the weird symbols. Jeez. He started yelling at me that Nikola Tesla was abused by the people in his time and that no one we knew was smart enough to solve that equation, including me, because he is way smarter than me. Hey, thanks, Tammy McDonald. This was all weird, broken up sentences, too. Definitely added to the creepy factor. Tyler told me that Lance had basically been up for like 3 days straight talking to ChatGPT at that time, and then he'd sometimes just be sobbing in Tyler's arms, and Tyler would be rocking him back and forth. We all thought Tyler was a trooper for putting up with Lance in that state. I guess that's a used condom right there. Crazily enough, while Lance was like that, Tyler was still hitting that, having sex with it. So Tyler was still having sex with Twiggs, even when he was acting crazy like this. Below, the leaker describes how he was about to move out of the area and informed Lance. The screenshot is heavily redacted to preserve his identity. Let's see. It was crazy. He snapped back to reality for a second and just thanked me for all the good times we had hanging out throughout the years. After that, I think Lance had been brought back just a little bit, and he even let Tyler take him out of the house to start seeing a psychologist. It almost made me feel bad because, not gonna lie, I was starting to become really apathetic and not really care what happened. Like it was just so much energy to try to deal with Lance. Tyler really was a trooper for dealing with him. Lance even calmed down enough for us to hold 3 more magic nights. We all thought Lance would be okay because he had Tyler, who was basically his handler at this point, to take care of him. Something about who lived across the street from the apartment let me know that Lance had gotten into an argument with his grandpa, who owned the apartment, and his grandpa had taken his car away. Well, that might be why he doesn't pay rent if his grandfather owns the apartment. This, I'm not sure, I suspect, put him into another one of these spirals. I imagine Lance was just alone with Tyler in the apartment, just driving Tyler effing crazy. I'd be hard-pressed to stay sane while living alone with Lance while he's like that. Talking about Lance and Tyler joined the Discord call a couple of times Lance joined and probably just would, and would say like one thing, then be silent, and Tyler would talk just normally. Tyler even joined the call like 2 weeks before the assassination and acted completely normal. Well, 2 weeks before, I don't even know if people knew that the event was happening there, because it was like 28th. Let's see. And also for the record, Tyler 100% calls Lance my love. Haha! Isn't that? See, this was written on September 25th. And also, for the record, Tyler calls Lance my love. See? And that's in there. And, wow, that's crazy. When they talk together alone. That, more than anything, makes those texts real to me. Hopefully, this sheds some light on, like, what's behind the scenes. In the last message, when the leaker references those texts, he's referencing the messages published by prosecutors. The person also sent me Discord logs of 3 different servers that Tyler and Lance were parts of. Lance under the name Lancelot. Thanks again, Sheila. And Fluxalot, and Tyler as Zealous Monkey and Bedbug Inspector. They date all the way back to 2020. Most of it's pretty mundane, but I've picked out what I see as the most notable, relevant messages below. Also, as you read, keep in mind that the conversations move from bottom of the page upwards. What whoever did the blog was really, good at like making sure that we understood how things are, what things mean, etc. It's Putin, but he's wide. It makes me laugh every time. I'm going to be on a trip down to the river till the 25th, and there's not any service. I mean, they're not even dating at the time. Gonna fish in the morning, gonna be gone till Sunday night. Wasn't a fishing trip, no fish. I rode a raft down the Colorado River from Beaver Dam for about 240 miles downstream, saw the majority of the Grand Canyon from the bottom. You catch any, it's backwards. I've returned, catch any fish, wasn't a fishing trip, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be on a trip down the river till the 25th. That's that other one. When Biden wins, he gets free being black money. I don't know what that means. When Biden wins and he gets free being black money. Anybody know what that means? Nobody said gross when you said you wanted to I remember that one. Gross. So I don't know if any of these are really, they're so old, going back all the way to 2020. White Girl Wednesday isn't where it's at. Mommy Monday. Femboy Friday. Greater than Tomboy Tuesday. Jeez. My nipples are so puffy, he said. Me proving that being black is a myth. Now I can call you libtard. Isn't Flux a lot? Isn't that Tyler? No, that's Lance, I think. Anyways, what do you guys think about these things? Why aren't they believable to you? Because it doesn't fit the story. You know what's funny is all the, the crazy conspiracy people, they all think that, like, we have a narrative that we're spreading from the FBI. But the truth is they all have an actual narrative that This is all just some fantasy. It's all fake. It's not Tyler Robinson. It's something else. And anytime you show them something, whatever you show them isn't real either, because it's like, what do you call it? They have cognitive dissonance. You tell them something, it doesn't match what they've always believed, so they struggle with it. It doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter tomorrow if Tyler Robinson came up and said, hey, you know what? I did this and I'm pleading guilty. They'll say that he was forced to do it, that the Israelis somehow got to the parents of Tyler, and so they said, hey, if he doesn't do this, we're going to do this. And it's crazy, No, but it doesn't go both ways. It doesn't go both ways. If you're going by the facts of a case, and when you're seeing things that don't make sense, just the fact that you don't believe the things that don't make sense isn't cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when you're showing people overwhelming facts of information and they can't accept it because of their belief system. There have been no facts presented by any conspiracy theorist in this case that even came close to being something where you hear it and then go, man, that makes me think differently about this. It's not happening. Okay? You guys need to work harder. It's kind of creepy, really. Tyler has black hat. Yeah, okay, so you don't think that the camera lighting is different every single time. I don't know how many times I've shown these pictures. It's just it gets to a point where it's hard to have a conversation because these people, their brains don't work correctly. Like, for example, here's one right here. See this? See this shot right here? This is Tyler Robinson getting gas. Looks absolutely similar to this one, but notice how in this one the maroon shirt matches this one because of the lighting outside. However, this shirt here is the same shirt because this is just about 8-10 minutes after this shot. And then this shirt here is this shirt because it's just different lighting inside that building. He just doesn't have the shorts on in that picture. Okay, so you see that one right there? Does that mean, like when I show stuff like this, does this kind of stuff ever have any effect on the the similar type of person? What do you want to call him? Tyler Burger? The conspiracy theorists. Does it have any effect? Like you look at that and go, oh, wow, that is crazy. Look at that. Look at that, man. So this one here is before this one. This shirt on this camera matches that one because it's in the shade. And this one's in the sunlight. This one's inside of a building, right? So these things should actually make a difference. Maybe the 2024 ones. Snowflake liberals can't shoot straight because that's Tyler. Because they're too busy being gay. Like yourself. Oh yeah, here's the other one. So look at this one right here, you guys. So for those of you out there that are the pro-burger, God, I keep saying pro-burger, the conspiracy theorist type, look, you don't think that looks like the same guy? It's just a different angle slightly. But look, same sort of mouth, nose, everything's the same. Ears, it's just different angle. Then look at this right here. You don't think that this person is that person? Right here? You don't see that? Yeah, let's do that. Thai burger. Yeah, I like that. How about that one? Doesn't that look pretty similar? Remember the whole full lip conversation? I don't know how you don't see this, man. This is from when he got pulled over in 2022 and even looks similar in 2025. 3 years later. Oh my God, you keep talking about the blue backpack. Who cares, man? You don't think it's possible he had different color backpacks in his car? Or he had different color hats, but he still wore the same glasses, maybe? You ever think of that? It's the same guy, though. His parents recognized him. You know? It's like, he has a blue backpack, so all of a sudden it can't be him now. It's crazy. It's just Looney Tunes stuff. Here, look. Let's go back all the way to this one here, right? See? This is when the... And by the way, I was the one that, if you've seen this video, it's because I went and got it. All right, this is the Dodge Challenger coming down the street. And you'll see it right here. He's driving by. And then he comes over there and drives out of the frame, right? Then the next shot is going to be... Here, let me... That actually still has that. It has sometimes it gets that weird little graphic issue. There you go. And then the next one here, I think we see Tyler Robinson walking by. Actually, that's still the same footage. The lights will shift here. The shading. Okay, there he is right there. Okay, there's Tyler Robinson walking with his backpack. And then you'll see him right over here. So you can kind of just see it through there a little bit. Right, and then you come out here and... Oop, gotta get that... got stuck to the mouse again. Here, we will rewind it a little bit. That's him, see? And then we look at the backpack, and you're going, look, it's blue gray. There's no way. It can't be him because it's a blue backpack. All right, and then he walks down that street there. You can see him all the way down here, by the way. So see how he's walking, goes around this curve, and he's not walking that fast, but I walked the same pace generally. And it took me 10 minutes to walk from that house all the way around the corner till you see him on surveillance later. Okay? And so that is... But hey, guys, if you're out there and you want to help support the Grant Hughes Investigates YouTube channel, because, you know, I have the best channel covering this case, I'm just not doing conspiracies. So if you want to help support the channel... Maybe get some memberships for people or super chats, whatever the hell it is, that'd be great. Right, I'm the same in this case. La Bellevue. Same exact same thing. Alright, there he is. Oh my God, it's black now! Look at that, it's black! Holy crap, 10 minutes later, that backpack is black. It couldn't be the shading at all. Notice how black that backpack is now, even though it was blue a couple minutes ago. You see that? Wow. I mean, it does look a little bit blue right there. I'll have to be honest with you. And then this one is... This one's later. So that last shot you just saw is right around like 10:10. And this one here is at 11:45. So he did a dry run, came back to his car... reach out to me to what? Gray, he is Pac. Who? Who's trying to reach out to me? I don't know, man. You'd have to say their name. You didn't make it easy for me. You just sort of threw out somebody. Who is it? Who is it? I don't see anybody.
Great work, GHI. Hey, freaks.
Thanks, Whiskey Boots. Yeah, so anyways, he walked by this whole way. See that? And he's got that same little gait, swinging the leg. And then he goes through that intersection. Then another block down, he turns left. I don't know who that is. And by the way, this car slows down because they were going to park here. And it turns out there's a red sidewalk that's kind of hard to see. All right, let me see. I don't know who you're talking about. I can't see that person in the chat. Who are you guys talking about? Thanks, Tammy McDonald. I don't see it, that name. But that name doesn't show up for me at all. And I'm on live chat, so. Oh, right there, okay. It's like way up there. I saw Gray's mapping work, okay. And then what? I don't see what you're referring to. Like, that's the only time. I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to. Could you guys help me out here? This is what I don't like, is when we get stuck on something really mundane like this, where you say, hey, Gray, you know, and I just don't know what you're talking about. I just showed you what I could see up there, and it's not there. So what is this person wanting from me? Yeah, I don't see them. I haven't seen them ask me anything. And have you on, Gray? Where? Have me on where? He helps host Charlie Kirk's show. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't see the person in the chat. So for some reason it's hidden from me. Other than those two shots that I had. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, if they want me on, that'd be great. I don't know who it is, though. Should I go try to find it, or... I think I've seen this person before, but I don't know if that's them. Let's see. Yeah, no, I've seen him before. I just don't know what, when you guys were saying he wants to communicate with me, I have no reference because I scrolled all the way up there, searched for the name, and I don't see it. So, but how do we know that's the real account? I guess. Yeah. Go find him. Oh, he did? Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for showing up. I just can't see it, you know? Like, I can't see it at all. It's strange. All right, anyways. Not sure where we were at here. Like, what was the... I was doing something with this. Oh, yeah, the backpack. And this is all timed up perfectly right here. Well, if you're still out there, thanks for sharing the stream. Yeah, so that video wasn't clear. Let's see this one. Yeah, and maybe that is a black backpack, but well, how does it make it not him? It just means he has a different color, 2 different backpacks. Probably, pretty smart little thing to change up a couple colors here and there. And doesn't mean anything. And then when he's going up the stairs, that's black, yep. So that means that the one he's walking with here is black. I know, I totally too. I think what Megyn Kelly said pretty much should be the answer for everybody. Okay? I mean, I put the video out. Did you guys watch it? Megyn Kelly is friends with the President of the United States. She's friends with Turning Point USA. And I think she probably knows Kash Patel too. And then Erica Kirk is friends with the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, and Charlie Kirk was friends with Kash Patel. So the thing is if you think that Erica Kirk isn't being informed of what's going on, then you need a lobotomy, okay? She knows exactly. I bet you she's being updated at least once a week, and she's just promised that she won't say anything. And that's why when she was asked by Jesse Waters, do you think they have the right guy? She just went, we have the best investigative. She went on and on about that. Didn't answer yes or no. And the reason she didn't answer yes or no is because she can't weigh in on it. Because she knows, it'd be too, it's like the gag order that they had in the Delphi case. Oh, yeah, cool. Well, I can't call in on this show because I didn't set it up for StreamYard. It's just a quick stream regarding this information. I can message him on Twitter, probably, if he has the ability to. Yeah, I only have like 5 or 6, 7,000 Twitter followers, maybe. I'm not really a Twitter person, Yeah, I mean, I've got this, this is the case that we've been covering, that one from yesterday. We'll be getting back to that later this evening. Let me hit save, in case I didn't from yesterday. Yeah, so I actually also have the 3D model from Paramount Tactical. Got the guy with the drone. I do have the 3D model now of the area. It's just the files are so big though, like 4 gigabytes just for a file, and so it makes things a little sluggish. Although it works pretty good in the native software Rhino 3D. In 3D Studio Max, it turns out it's pretty good. It just seems like there should be a way out there, one of the like AI or something where you say keep all flat surfaces flat and break it down. Hey, look at there's the Jack guy. He showed up again. Yeah. Let's see. Weaving things in and out to see what sticks is, well, that's what Candace Owens is doing. I mean, I understand she really cared about Charlie Kirk, etc. But I just don't think she's helping right now. Okay, it's not helping at all. In fact, it's really harmful. It's dividing the Conservative Party. It is. I think it's making a very dangerous situation for Jewish people of the United States. The way she words things and sort of insinuates, and it's just not healthy. Yeah. Well, how's it going, Jack? Unfortunately, I don't have it where people on this live stream here where somebody can join in. This is just OBS Studio directly to YouTube. you were thinking maybe of coming on, but thanks, Tammy McDonald. You have great genes. Yeah, that's the what's her face? Forgot her name. That blonde girl lady. Hurt or not doesn't give Candace the right to shit all over. Yeah, I totally agree. I wonder if people are starting, but the thing is, it doesn't matter if people are starting to change their minds. She's still going to get 100,000. Get rid of that idiot there. God. Somebody just made a racist comment. Let's see. Can't call in at a spot with bad signal. Hey, well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've been putting out videos that I think are factually accurate. Unfortunately, if you're not doing conspiracy theories, you know, the viewer levels aren't very high. It used to be at the beginning, everybody was watching my videos like, oh wow, this is good stuff. And then as soon as you switched, when everybody became more interested in conspiracy theories, it's hard to get traction on videos. Kind of a weird, you know, thing that YouTube did there. Yeah, I went there as well. I don't know if you guys, I mean, I could show you guys some of that. So, for example, I actually flew my drone, and if you look right there, if I back it up just a little bit, then turn around, maybe it needs to be a little higher than that, just slightly, like right there. See, there is the camera, the 360-degree camera right there, right? So when you turn around, this is what law enforcement was able to see. You know, so from that camera, they could go back and watch Tyler Robinson coming in on the north side of the Losi building, walking in, the parking garage is over there, comes in, and you'll see him walk through these doors here, and then inside the Losi building, later, you'll see him coming up these stairs. I think Paramount Tactical is one of these two people here. And then you'll see him come up these stairs, and then go right there and climb over this wall at 12:15 or 12:17. 12:15 he comes up. 12:17 he climbs over the wall. Then he'll be getting up at 12:22 and running. The limp is gone now. He's going to run over to the corner there. And then we've seen the footage after the shot at 12:23, 28-ish. He runs across behind here and then climbs down right there, jumps down, puts his foot there. Now we've got that footage too, where you can literally see the, you know, the hand markings on the roof, on the ledge, etc. Now this is one I think is on. That's the full walk there.
There we go.
Okay, I think this one is the one. So here's where I put my 360-degree camera up on the roof, right there. See that? So you got the 2-inch markers. This is where his foot hit. I think the.
I am a true fact person, and I will always be a supporter of your channel.
Well, thanks,
Thank you for
Tracy.
your investigative passion for the truth. Red heart emoji.
Well, there you go. There you go. Very kind. Very kind. And when he put his foot down right here, I think that's when we get a footprint of the Chuck Taylor. Because he had his foot up on the top, then he drug it down, and then it landed there, then he jumped down. And that's where I think that is. And then right here are the 4 fingers of him on, that he put his hands up there, drug him off. That's where his right foot, this part right there, that's where his right foot, that angle part of his shoe, drug across the edge there, and then it slid down and landed right over here. And then like these other spots are like where the backpack hit, etc. Yeah, it's just pretty interesting, the whole thing, really. Yeah, I think. Well, if you were asking me, Chickbait, I think I think Tyler did it because he's in a relationship with Twiggs, right? I mean, he doesn't like the fact that, you know, because he loves Twiggs, you know, his first whatever you might want to call it. And then you got people that are not really pro-trans, right? You know, making comments. And now he's going to be, you know, hate that person because Charlie Kirk was a huge figure, you know. Yeah, we can. I went over all the writings on the beginning of this show here. I can just give you the link if that's what you want. And it was really just writing. Well, it was really a person that knew them that wrote it. And then at the bottom, I just don't feel like it's kind of boring to go through the all of these at the bottom, all these different things down here. He was going to go to that protest in June. You know. But I can send this over to you here. I can put it in the chat if you got anybody wants that link that was in the video. It's right here. That this is really him in chat. Oh, cool. Okay. Well, very cool. Thanks for showing up, Jack. Yeah, and I don't know if I do have a ton of. I bought a 360-degree camera and filmed everything, so you can look around in all directions as you're doing anything. Like this one here, I think is, you know. And by the way, I mean, if you're new here, I think this is the spot where he parked in the morning when he did his dry run. I think when he's wearing the maroon shirt. That's actually at 10 o'clock. It's not 8:08 like they were saying before. It's 10:08. And this spot right here is completely hidden. You know, like there isn't any cameras filming you. And if you, let's say you were changing and putting the gun down your pants and had the passenger door open on that side, there's no way anybody could tell what you were doing in that spot. And then the next spot is right around that corner there down the street. And so if you went up in on Google Earth, what we're looking at right here is right here. That's where I'm parked. Right there. Almost exactly where this car is. I mean, I almost have the same kind of car that's parked right there. And the house that has the surveillance on it's right there. And he's the guy that gave me the extra footage. And then and then if you go down this street right here, there's another spot right there. And I think this is where he was on his final. Because how far are you going to want to walk with a rifle down your pants? This is really the only spot that I could find. I mean, look how dense this stuff is here. But right there just happens to be, this is what somebody pointed out on one of my streams. There's a fence right there, and a fence on that side, and there's no cameras there. This house might have a camera, but this way the trees block everything. And so again, right here you could put the rifle down your pants with the passenger door open right there. Then after that he walks down the street over here, turns, goes, there is another shot of him walking by right there, and then he turns down this street, and then he goes by these two houses there with the cameras on it, and then takes a right over the little bridge into the parking area and into the tunnel. And then we've seen all of that. And so that's what's cool about this video is once you get to about, like, let me see, about right in here. Yeah, this is where that one video on the side street is. So if I just keep moving, take a left right here. There we go. We're going left down that street that has the two TMZ cameras on it. I'll back up a little bit. So right here, there's the first TMZ shot. And then right back through there is where he's running through the field.
This way. And he walks right next to the curb.
And then coming up here is the final house. That's the one that has when... so the thing is, this house over here is also going to have Tyler Robinson in the maroon shirt. We just don't have that video. So there's a camera up there, and then you see him on camera walk by, and then he turns right there and goes down the grass right there, and then goes to this little building, and it's flat, so there's no stairs or anything, goes straight down to the bottom.
Whoa, weird.
And then once he makes it into the parking lot, goes this direction, and then he gets to the end of the parking lot, and then goes into the tunnel here.
The shot.
I'll back it up a little. Goes into the tunnel, and there's the camera right here that filmed him get into the tunnel. Then he goes down the tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel, this is where he was filmed again right now from this camera.
Camera there.
That filmed him in with that little orange background, and then he goes up these stairs right here. This is the easiest thing in the world what this guy did, by the way. I mean, what this guy, Tyler Robinson, pulled off something that was simple on that day. There was absolutely nothing hindering him from doing what he did.
And this way.
So then he goes down this utility street right here, goes down the middle, and then we're just gonna have him go up here. This is the least amount of steps to go up. Then goes up right by the Losi Center building, which, let me go back a little bit. So that's the Losi Center building, and then walks right in front of, this is the dean's office, by the way. She complained because I was standing in front of her with my gut sticking in her face while I'm filming there. All right, yeah, so right there, that's where
he jumped off.
He climbed down and then jumped, right? And we'll just keep going this way in front of the building. Then all he did was walk into the Losi. Nobody stopped me on this. So he's in the Losi Center building, then go out the door. Look how everybody's like, hey, how's it going? I mean, nobody's doing anything. Nobody would stop you if you were limping.
Here is
and then coming up here.
Yeah, you couldn't go up a week ago or so. Or maybe 2 weeks ago.
Right. That's right. Candace Owens does the, I'm just asking questions while she doxes people. Yeah, she does that. It's crazy. And so when he got up here, this fence right here was not there, as I've explained many times. This fence right there was not there, nor was that little motion sensor lights or whatever right there. And he was able to just walk right over to there. This is what it looked like to him. And then he could just step right over this wall. That's where he constructed the rifle that was in his pants. And then from here, it's crazy, right? So he goes over there, shoots, gets up and runs, and he runs behind that building, goes right over to this corner here, drops off. Then he runs across the grass over there and makes his way into the woods right over there. And that's where they found the rifle wrapped in a black towel. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that really? I think having the 360-degree camera is pretty amazing. Yeah, that 3D model is pretty good. They got. This isn't a 3D model though. This is a 360-degree camera. Because there's me right there. Yeah. Hey, thanks KMTX.
It's like Ray, KME.
I do have it. If you guys want to see it, I'll show it to you really quick. And then I'm going to take off, and then I'll come back like at 7:30 or so for... lots of people. Man. She tells you who people's names are that are in the video. Different other individuals. Tells you about where they work. Things like that. Come on. Oh, yeah, okay, here's one. You remember the lady that said she saw Tyler Robinson? Okay, I'll tell you right now. Remember the lady that said she saw Tyler Robinson as she was going there or something? And she goes, man. And then, so Candace went out, figured out what her name was, and told everybody she works at the police department, too. And, wow, that's a coincidence. It's all a cover-up. Don't you remember that? Man, that's just... Let's see. Man, where did I put this? Oh, I think I do have it in there. J, YouTube videos, working on, Charlie Kirk, and then it's the Rhino 3D, FBX, boom. All right, let me see. Let's just see what happens. I'm gonna try to load this sucker up and see what happens. Right, but she didn't need to tell people online, right? What that lady's name was. I thought that was incredibly irresponsible. Now look how long. See, these are so big, these files here. Did the lady complain? I don't know. She probably hit herself. So if she doesn't complain out loud to you, it wasn't being doxxed. You guys, you are crazy, you people. Because now that I came on, you go, give me an example. I gave you an example, and instead of you just admitting and saying, oh, wow, okay, that does suck, you go, did she complain? I mean, God, that's so childish. It's almost unbelievable. How did you come up with that? I don't want to, I'm not going to give you a name. I don't need to give you a name. What the hell's going on? My TV just came on.
Chewbacca?
Oh, I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
It's so weird. Oh, there you go. Hey, thanks, Aaron Sayers. And also for gifting that membership up there. I'm not going... Yes, I don't know what the lady's name is right now. I don't remember it. But don't you remember the lady? I did a whole show on it where I just had her talking. I didn't put what her name was, or maybe it had their name in the article. But Candace goes in and talks about where she works, and she gives you that little side-eye look and everything. And if you make a comment like that because... Okay, you're out of here, Coleman. I just don't appreciate people like you. I'm sorry. People like you are ridiculous. All right, so I'm going to hide you on the channel. Good luck somewhere else. All right, let's see. Now, so here's the model that's out there. I mean, look at that thing. I mean, it actually is pretty good, right? Look at this. This is the one from Paramount Tactical. You know, it's just so massive, though. It's hard to smoothly move it around, you know. I guess you could come right over there. It's like that. Yeah, and they made a model where they actually put a guy, you know, like Charlie Kirk type person sitting there. Some of these guys are pretty crazy, but you know, it's a decent model, you know, for flying around, etc. I mean, it's really accurate. I mean, the original one in Rhino even has the height and everything correct. Yeah, well, thanks for showing up, Jack. Maybe we can do something one of these days. I don't know. I mean, I just have it all. I have it all dialed in, all the surveillance, everything. You know, been there. I was there for 2 days straight, walking around, and 2 days of travel. I drove there from Oregon. Let's see. It's showing class right now by calling Candace out publicly. Eric is showing class right now by not calling. Right. Well, I think it's just a matter of time before Candace sort of starts accusing Erica of something. Because she's already kind of done that. Hey, thanks CRR123. You're not or RCR, right? You had a different, or moderator. Well, no, you are a moderator. There's a wrench on there. Well, it's good seeing you again. You changed your name a little bit. Or actually, that's the @ version. Well, it's good to see you. I know you've been kind of busy moving and stuff like that, so. Now, see, what I see on my screen is this right here. CRR, you know. So that's why I was confused. Anyways, good to see you. Good to see you. You're gonna write on Twiggs and Tyler? Yeah, you should get me. I could, you know. I know this case inside and out, man. I've got all of the, you know, the probable cause, the what do you call it? The charging documents. I've been there. I've got every bit of the animation video that's out there so far. Not the animation, but the surveillance footage. I want to make an animation of this, but man, this file is so big, it's hard to work in there the way you need to be able to work with it. Can you put a link to Paramount Tactical? He didn't. There's no link to it. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm going to come back on around 7:30, and we were going to continue on with the other case that we were doing. If you guys are interested, I have all of the case. This is a case where the mother, let's see, a husband was killed by the wife and daughter by poisoning, all kinds of different ways, you know, over time. And the wife actually took her own life, and then the daughter is, she was charged, and she pled guilty. But I happened to. They gave me all of the files, like every single, like all of the interrogation videos, everything. Yeah, you should come around more often, Jack. I would appreciate it. Yeah. It's weird when you were first mentioned up there, your name wasn't there anymore. It was like one comment and it had nothing to do with. And mods, all right. But I want to say thank you to, let's see, Monica Reeves, Sheila, about 8 different times. And then Marilise, you know, Sheila, Christine, Sheila, Liz Robb, and then Tammy McDonald, and Sheila again, and then Wild Bill Wassman, and then Meanie Me, and Tammy McDonald, and Sheila again, and then KMTX, Jareth King, Whiskey Boots, Tammy McDonald, Rage Bronson, and Tammy McDonald, and then, let's see, Dieter Gambrel, Gifted One, and then Tracy Antock. And then we had CC, or CR, it doesn't show up on here for some reason. Oh, there it is at the bottom. And then Aaron Sayers, Gifted One, and then a Super Chat, and then Michelle H, and CR, the mod. Anyways, thanks everybody, really appreciate it, and we'll see you guys this evening, probably in a couple hours, maybe, you know, 7:45 my time. Are you guys going to show up for that one? It's pretty interesting. We get to watch the interrogations and the different body camera footage. Yeah, I see 273 watching, which isn't really huge, but thank you, Jack, out there, for getting a few more people over here. Yeah, I've been on Banfield a couple times. She's cool. Been on Banfield, Court TV, and one time on, what's her name? What the hell's that lady's name? With the crime blonde lady that gets really angry all the time. I don't know why her name isn't popping into my head. What's her name? You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, Nancy Grace. Yeah, I've been on Nancy Grace, Court TV many times, and 3 different... I've been on Ashley Banfield, her show on TV twice, and then her personal YouTube podcast thing once. So that's cool. At least I'm good enough to have them want me on. And for lots of different cases. I haven't been on any of them for Charlie Kirk. I should have been. Maybe once. Maybe I was once on Vinny or something. Sounds like a good show for later. Which one? Oh yeah, it is interesting. It's pretty crazy. We've got all the, and we're just finishing up on the probable cause document, the amended one, and then we're going to go straight into watching surveillance. I mean, not surveillance, but like interviews, etc. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've talked to Stephen Gardner too. He's a cool guy. Hey, thank you. All right. Excellent. Maybe I'll try to message you on Twitter if that's possible. Anyways, thanks for showing up. Thanks everybody for being here. Thank you guys for your generosity. Appreciate you supporting the channel. We'll see you guys later this evening. And, as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Oh my god, it's a trigger bunny.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for
It is a trigger bunny, Gray.
It is a trigger
this
bunny.
whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector.
I'm a certified human lie detector.
Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector.
That's Lori Daybell, everybody. Lori Daybell.
Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector, fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.